Look at your camellia right now. Go on. The summer growth has stopped. The leaves are still glossy, still dark, still looking perfectly healthy. Nothing appears to be happening. No flowers, no obvious change. The whole plant looks like it is coasting through August with nothing on its mind. So you have moved on. You are watering the tomatoes and deadheading the roses. The camellia can wait, and that is the mistake. Because right now, inside that plant, invisibly, in the last weeks of summer, your camellia is building every single flower it will produce this winter and next spring. It is forming bud cells on the stems that grew this year, tiny swellings developing at the tips and joints of branches that look completely unchanged to the naked eye. Every bloom you will get in November, December, January, February, and March is being manufactured right now. And it is being manufactured based on how that plant is living this month. And here is the part that should stop you. If a camellia runs dry during this window, it does not just make smaller buds. It aborts bud development entirely. The American Camellia Society states it plainly. If flower buds are being formed during water stress, their quality will be affected. But quality is the polite word. In practice, those buds stop developing, detach from the stem, and drop to the ground unopened months later when you are expecting a winter display that will never arrive. Not fewer flowers, none. And that is the answer to a mystery thousands of camellia growers have lived through without ever solving it. A plant that looked beautiful all summer, glossy leaves, strong branches, everything appeared fine. And then in November, the buds start falling, and by January, the plant is bare and you blame the cold weather or a late frost or just bad luck. Look back at the August before that empty winter. It was hot and it was dry and nobody watered. The cause and the consequence are 3 to 4 months apart, which is exactly why almost nobody connects them. So most gardeners get August completely wrong, and here is the specific shape of it. The mistake is not doing something wrong, the mistake is stopping. Stopping watering, stopping paying attention in the 1 month of the year when it matters most. There are things this plant needs from you right now, and one of them is a thing you must absolutely not do. But first, you need to understand what is actually happening on those branches. Here is the idea that changes how you see this month. A camellia flower is not made in autumn. It is made now and then it waits. On Sasanqua types, the wait is short, just until October or November. On Japonica types, the wait stretches all the way through winter until January, February, or March. So the flower you admire in the cold months is 3 to 6 months old by the time you see it. It was built in the heat, in August, while you had stopped looking. And once you understand that, everything about this month reorganizes itself. Every drop of water that plant gets in August is not maintenance. It is investment. You are not keeping a resting shrub alive until autumn. You are funding winter's flowers at the precise moment they are being manufactured. Please drop a comment and tell me which camellia you have. And subscribe if you have not already, because we do this properly here. Real horticulture, exact information. And we tell you straight, including when the answer is to put the tool down and walk away. Now, the thing that matters most. And it is the simplest thing in the world. Water it as if next winter depends on it, because it does. This is the whole video. If you take one thing away, take this. Start with why camellias are so vulnerable to this in the first place. Because it is structural. A camellia has a shallow, fibrous root system that sits close to the soil surface in exactly the layer that dries out first and fastest in hot weather. It is not a plant with a deep taproot quietly finding moisture 2 feet down. Its entire root system is living in the part of the soil that August punishes hardest. That is why a camellia can look perfect at 9 in the morning and be quietly suffering by 3 in the afternoon without showing a single visible symptom. Unlike hydrangeas, camellias do not wilt dramatically when they are thirsty. They just silently stop building buds. The damage is invisible until months later. So here is the practice, and it is not complicated. A slow, deep soak at the base of the plant once or twice a week, depending on your soil and your heat, not a quick sprinkle from the hose. A genuine soaking that delivers water several inches into the soil, where the active roots are feeding and drinking. Use a soaker hose or a regular hose set to a slow trickle, left in place for 30 to 45 minutes. Water the soil, not the leaves and not the buds. Wet foliage in warm, humid weather invites fungal problems you do not need. Water in the early morning if you can, so moisture reaches the roots before the midday heat evaporates it from the surface. And here is the test that stops you guessing. Push your finger into the soil a few inches down at the base of the plant, underneath the mulch. If it feels moist and cool, your camellia does not need water yet. If it feels dry and powdery, it is time to soak deeply. Sandy soils drain fast and may need attention every 3 to 4 days. Clay soils hold moisture longer, but can become waterlogged if drainage is poor. Knowing your soil type helps you water smarter, rather than just watering more. The goal is steady, consistent moisture in the root zone. Not wet, not bone dry. Consistent. A camellia under drought stress in August may look perfectly healthy through September and October. The leaves stay glossy, the branches stay green. Nothing appears wrong. Then in November, the buds begin dropping to the ground unopened. By the time you see the damage, the cause is 3 months old. August drought is the invisible assassin of camellia blooms, which is also why August is the most dangerous month of the year to pick up a pair of shears. Put the pruners down right now. I know that sounds like a strange instruction in a video about what your plant needs, but this is the single most destructive thing a well-meaning gardener does to a camellia in late summer. And August is exactly when it happens because the garden looks untidy and the urge to tidy up is almost irresistible. So here is what you are about to do if I do not stop you. You will go out and shape the plant. Take a bit off the top, clip the sides, clean up that wayward branch, and you will drop next winter's flowers on the ground, because camellias set their flower buds on the current season's wood. By August, the branches you are looking at already contain developing buds that are invisible to you. There is nothing on that plant to tell you they are there. Every branch you cut right now is a branch carrying buds you have just removed. NC State University and the Royal Horticultural Society both advise pruning camellias immediately after flowering ends. For Sasanquas, that means pruning in late winter. For Japonicas, that means pruning in late spring. Major pruning should be completed by early summer at the absolute latest. After July, the shears should not touch a camellia until the flowers have finished next season. The only exception is genuinely dead, damaged, or diseased wood, which can be removed at any time. But healthy green bud-bearing branches must be left alone from August onward. In August, the most important cut is the one you do not make. Stop feeding it. The bag goes back in the shed until spring. This one catches people who are genuinely trying to help. And the logic seems airtight. The plant is doing important work building next winter's flowers. Surely you should feed it to support that. You should not. And here is exactly why. Nitrogen makes leaves. That is what it does everywhere in the garden on every plant. A feed in August tells your camellia to push out a flush of soft, tender new growth right at the point in the season when it should be slowing down and hardening off. That new growth has nowhere to go. It has run out of season. It will not have time to mature and toughen before the first frost arrives. So the cold damages it, and those tender stems do not carry healthy flower buds into winter. A late feed does not just fail to help your bloom count, it actively reduces it. You have spent this whole video protecting buds by watering. A late feed undoes it from the other direction. The experts at Blooming Lucky Camellia Nursery say it directly. Feed in early spring and early summer. Do not feed after the end of July. Feeding your camellia in August is like giving an athlete a heavy meal right before a race. The energy goes to digestion instead of performance. So the rule is simple. Heavy feeding finishes by midsummer. In practice, that means a balanced acid-forming feed in spring, a lighter application in early summer, and then nothing more for the rest of the season. Fertilizer does not fix a camellia that will not bloom. If those buds were aborted in a dry August or cut off by well-meaning shears, there is no product on any shelf that brings them back. Water builds next winter's flowers. Fertilizer in August dismantles them. Mulch it, and given what we have just established about shallow roots sitting in the driest layer of your soil, mulch is doing 3 jobs at once. It slows evaporation so your watering lasts longer. It stabilizes soil temperature and keeps those roots cooler through a heat wave. And as acidic organic mulch decomposes, it gradually feeds the soil with the acidic conditions camellias demand. Use pine bark, pine straw, oak leaf mold, or composted bark chips. These are ideal because they maintain the acidic pH between 5.5 and 6.5 that camellias require, 2 to 3 inches around the base, extending out to the drip line of the canopy. Keep it pulled back an inch or two from the trunk itself because mulch packed against bark holds moisture where you do not want it. Mulch is the only thing in this video that keeps working while you are not in the garden. Now, one more thing worth saying plainly, because it is the most expensive misunderstanding in all of camellia growing, and it connects directly to that acidic mulch. If your camellia leaves are turning yellow between the veins while the veins themselves stay green, that is iron chlorosis. And it is not caused by a lack of iron in the soil. It is caused by the soil pH being too high for the plant to absorb the iron that is already there. The mineral is locked away chemically. Your camellia is starving in a sea of food it cannot access. Test your soil pH this month. A simple test kit costs a few dollars. If the pH has risen above 6.5, apply elemental sulfur at the rate on the package, usually 1 to 2 tablespoons per established plant, worked into the top inch of soil. Water it in. Retest in 4 to 6 weeks. The ornamental camellia in your garden and the tea plant that produces every cup of tea consumed on Earth, Camellia sinensis, are members of the same genus. They share the same biology and the same acid soil requirement. Legend attributes the discovery of tea to Chinese Emperor Shennong around 2737 BC, making this genus one of the most historically significant plant groups in all of civilization. If a tea plantation worth millions of dollars lives or dies by soil acidity, your garden camellia is no different. For less than $2 worth of elemental sulfur, you solve the single most common reason camellias silently fail. And here is the bonus. If protecting buds is important, this takes it one step further. Disbudding. Where you see 2 or 3 buds clustered at a single point on a branch, gently twist off all but the largest, most well-positioned one. This concentrates the plant's energy into fewer flowers, producing dramatically bigger blooms with stronger petal substance and more vivid color. It is the technique competitive camellia exhibitors use worldwide. Japanese gardeners in the Edo period between 1603 and 1868 perfected this discipline to an art form, producing individual camellia flowers of extraordinary size for formal display in tokonoma alcoves alongside calligraphy and ceramics. During that period, rare camellia varieties were so valuable that a single plant could sell for the equivalent of a samurai's annual salary. The disbudding technique those Edo period gardeners perfected 400 years ago is identical to what exhibitors use today. You do not need to be a competitor to benefit from it. Removing roughly 1/3 of clustered buds across the plant in August produces noticeably larger and more impressive individual flowers by winter. Everything about August is like this. Nothing you do this month pays you back this month. Before we finish, send this to one person you know with a camellia that dropped its buds last winter without ever opening. Just the link. There is a very good chance the reason was last August, and nobody has ever told them that. Now here is the whole thing in one idea. August is the month your camellia stops growing and starts building. The leaves look unchanged, the branches look dormant, and inside those stems, the plant is quietly manufacturing every bloom you will get this winter and next spring. So what you do this month does not show up this month. It shows up 3 to 6 months from now. And that gap is the reason almost nobody gets this right. Water it properly. A deep soak once or twice a week at the base in the morning, checked by your finger a few inches into the soil. Those roots are sitting in the driest layer of your garden, and a dry August is how a camellia aborts an entire season of buds without you ever knowing. Put the shears down. Every branch you cut carries buds you cannot see and flowers that will never exist. Stop feeding it. A late feed pushes soft growth that frost damages, and dead stems do not carry flowers. No fertilizer on earth restores a bud that was never made. Mulch it. 2 to 3 inches of acidic organic material pulled back from the trunk, because that is the only thing on this list still working when you are not in the garden. Check the pH. Yellow leaves with green veins mean the soil is too alkaline, and $2 of sulfur fixes it. And disbud for bigger blooms if you want to see what your camellia is truly capable of producing. Do those things, and winter takes care of itself. Skip them, and you will spend next January staring at bare branches, wondering what went wrong 3 months after it did. A camellia does not fail in the season you notice. It fails in the season you stopped watching. Subscribe and hit the bell and stick around. We do this the honest way here, real horticulture, exact information, and we tell you straight, including when the answer is to put the tool down and walk away. Drop a comment telling me which of these you have been getting wrong, because I suspect for most of you it is the shears. Next time, another plant where this year's mistake does not show up until next year. I will see you in the next one.